People have inquired about if Jock and Roxanne are still trying to sell the research center in Venus, Florida. I know that Roxanne took the sign down for that when they left on the lecture tour. I think that it can't be determined as of yet, but I did ask Jock about it.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
We may not be able to keep it up ourselves. We may not be able to support it. But we certainly hope that others will do whatever they can to help support the Venus Project. It's been a burden for us for many, many years, almost 30 years, and we put the bill for everything. I would think if it's a co-op venture, that others might be able to do whatever they can to help support it. We have machines there where we do vacuum forming, and if we don't buy new machines, we can't do that. In other words, sometimes it takes me 2.5 years to make the models for a 12-minute film. I think models help show people what the future could be. And it's very difficult for Roxanne and I to maintain the grounds alone. As you know, I'm 94 and I'm not as agile as I used to be. Okay?
Why not, Jock?
I guess I don't eat right. As you get older, you really break down.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
It's wear and tear of the joints. We don't live in the Venus Project. There's no research programs going on to increase age and physical activity.
Yeah.
I think it was George Bernard Shaw that said, it's too bad that youth is wasted on the young. Just about when we get to know everything and we're able to do things, we just don't have the energy to do it.
Roxanne used to have a pretty successful business with architectural models and renderings. She learned all of that from Jock, and that business used to help support the place. Unfortunately, that all fell out when the mortgage and real estate crisis hit a few years ago. And Florida was hit especially hard. It was one of the repo capitals in the United States, so everyone in those industries suffered. She's very skilled, as you can see, in that kind of art. I don't know how much she enjoyed doing it, but I think it's just what had to be done to support them. She actually wanted to throw this model away, but a couple of us convinced her not to. So the mail order for the books, DVDs, the CDs is steady, but I still don't mind pushing any of that. If you can read the book, you should definitely read the book. All of the product sales help the project out, and that's just what it takes in the system we're in. It provides ways to learn more in depth about this system, and there's really nothing in any of the materials that is superfluous. I continue to import the old lectures from cassette tape. These are cassette recordings that were made by people who went to Jock's lectures in the 1970s in Miami when he lectured out of his home. He used to hold meetings like 3 or 4 times a week, and because the groups consisted of longer-term participants, Jock used to go into more detail about the topics that he was covering. After several hundred tapes, I'm down to about the last dozen or so. We've made 15 so far into product CDs called the Classic Lecture Series.
What I'm trying to say is stop looking at the outside of things. Try to probe deeper into things. Now, if you like the idea of the brotherhood of man, if you like the idea of God, which is a beautiful idea, don't separate people. Bring them all together. Bring them all together on one world, and let's try to live as richly and fully and cooperatively as we know how. And let's not try to attain perfection. Let's just try to make life better than it is for man. And let's continuously strive to better the relationship with people. This is what this organization is about. This is what we teach. And we can't do it the old way. We can't do it with the old values of beating the other fellow. And hey, isn't my kid prettier than your kid? She got an A and you got a C. See, you can't do it that way. You only cut people up. You cut them up and you hurt them. Now you're going to have to think about these things. If you have any questions, fire them.